Good morning and welcome to BoomZPodcast, the conversation between generations. I'm Nina Jabril.
You got your boy CJ.
And we have an exciting show for you today. We have a special guest with us, Tarik Cohen.
Hey Tarik, man. So knowing that you're a MEAC rushing holder and basically a HBCU NFL player, ex-NFL player, excuse me, but what's a couple of things that you've been doing over the time of just retiring and getting your life together outside of football?
The first thing I did was just take a break from everything. I feel like I've been going, my whole life to try to reach my dreams in football. So I just really took a break and just loved on my family and just was around a bunch of family, a bunch of friends, riding dirt bikes and just, enjoying the fruits of my labor. But now I want to get back into a space where, football is the main thing, but not necessarily coaching. So I just want to get back with A&T and just help out in any way that I can.
Word. So you talking about going back to your roots. Can you go into more detail about just coming to A&T and basically spreading the wealth of what you learned?
Oh, yeah, A&T, I feel like that's where I became a man. The guys here, the coaches that I had here, the friends that I made here were very instrumental in my life. So I feel like it's only right for me to come back and help out. And I'm trying to be the director of player development this year. So it's kind of like a big brother, unk role, as the kids would say.
Yeah.
Just to show them what I've learned and how to deal with the things that I dealt with when I was here at A&T.
Because a lot of coaches are coming back that coached you are coming back to A&T. So it is like a homecoming type thing. Mm-hmm. That's really exciting.
Yeah, it's like a family reunion. Mm-hmm. I inspired them to come back, man, because, I was coming back anyway. Whatever coach was here. If it was Coach Brown that was still here, I was going to come back and help out. But it's just a blessing that Coach Gibbs can come and, be the head guy now.
So let's just talk about, since we are talking about A&T, how do you feel about, them since you've left? Or actually since, the 2019 class left, the kind of, hate to say it, downfall.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was bitter.
Football.
I was bitter. At first, I felt like I kind of was getting disrespected. I wasn't getting the love shown that I felt like I was owed. And I was basically turning the cold shoulder towards A&T. But then I got over it. Basically tried to be the bigger man with the whole program, the whole school of A&T. And I just wanted to come back and help. Because I feel like I can't talk trash online and not be trying to help. And I just kept seeing a bunch of people online just bickering and talking trash, talking down on A&T that once went to A&T. But I'm like, what are you doing to help? If you're not doing nothing to help, you shouldn't be able to throw a rock or have a say-so in the fight. So I was like, I got to go ahead and try to help so that when it's time for me to say something, I can talk my trash.
Yeah, you can talk it. I like that.
That's definitely a full circle moment. Just, you know what I'm saying, leaving there, coming back with people that you kind of got rings with and you broke records with, you know what I mean? What does that kind of mean to you, having those type of records in the record books and knowing that you set basically a path for other people out of HBCUs, you know what I'm saying, or small schools in general, how does that impact you and just, give you motivation to go through?
It means a lot, especially, winning with the guys that I won with and us just being more. Everything is more than football. It's really a family. The coaches that was here during that time, my teammates that was here during that time, and the fact that everybody's coming back, that's what we're going to do. We're going to reinstill that culture. We're not reinventing anything new. We're not about to reinvent the wheel. We know the wheel rolls, so we're just going to bring it back to A&T and make chicken like the coaches say all the time. So, just winning those rings and having that experience with each other, we're going to show them that as a coaching staff and as a football staff, and it's going to trickle down into the players, and then that culture will be back sooner than you know.
So, this podcast of BoomZ, we talked earlier, is about generations, and you're Generation X, or no, excuse me, millennial. You're a millennial. Okay. I aged you 30 years right there. My bad.
It's the beard.
Yeah, but you're a millennial. What difference have you seen from the kids now? So they're probably Gen Zs playing football now at A&T versus the millennials.
They're spoiled. They're spoiled. That's one. I feel like they're spoiled. Definitely. That's kind of a good thing, though. I mean, everybody wants to spoil their kids, so that means our generation did a good job, or the generation before did a good job in their life, so they can spoil their kids. But it's just certain things that we had to go through that these guys won't have to go through, and it's kind of a plus and a negative. Yeah. But you find ways to work around that, and that's what our coaches are great at. Tony McRae, he's one of the most relatable guys that I played with. He was the best leader that I ever played with, and him being on the coaching staff is going to do numbers, just going to do wonders for the players on the team now. They're going to be able to bond with him and understand where he's coming from, and he's still going to be a tough coach to be able to push them out of their comfort zone to what they need in order to grow.
Calling them spoiled. As anybody that's watched us before, Slam and Sammy loved that answer. We are spoiled. Gen Z is very spoiled. But I agree. So I want to also ask, like, what are some players before you that you modeled your game after?
NFL wise, my favorite player was Reggie Bush. Just electric plays all over the field. Like, no matter what he did, like punt return, kick return, running the ball, like he always just made a big play. And I would say,
see the
like,
resemblance.
Yeah, college wise, everybody wanted to be Tavon Austin. So like, I wanted to be Tavon Austin. I wanted to be Tyrann Mathieu. And I didn't even play defense, but anytime he touched the ball, he was scoring a touchdown. So those guys, I used to watch their highlight tapes before every game, literally. Before every game in college, I watched like their highlight tapes. That's
what's up, man. So to piggyback on her saying like our generation spoiled, and basically what the way technology is nowadays, like it's crazy. And like I know you were into the league and where like technology was still growing at a fast rate. So what do you think about, you know what I'm saying, you got fans, maybe friends, whatever the case may be, you know, these betting apps and people DMing athletes, like what's your side of it? Like you got to see both sides, I think.
I was getting killed. I was really getting killed as far as like, it was just like fantasy football.
Yeah.
When I was getting into the league, it was like, like everybody was like, get me points on fantasy. Like they'd DM me like, oh, you gave me 2 points last night, you suck. Like, you need to get in the game, you need to do more. But I feel like now with like betting, it's just how I feel like with the younger generation, it's a lot of instant gratification. So like, there's no time for growth. Nobody wants to see the growth. Nobody wants to go through the growing pains. So like, cause of social media, like everything is posted, everything is just instantly uploaded. So if you get caught, you know, struggling, nobody wants to get caught struggling.
Everybody want it now.
Everybody want to be rich now.
Yeah, they want it now.
You look at the prom pictures of kids in high school now, they driving Rolls Royce to prom.
Yeah.
They got, they got Ferraris to prom. It's like, come on now. Like, I didn't see a Ferrari until I got to the NFL. I didn't see one in person until I got to the NFL. So it's like,
I ain't seen one yet for real.
Yeah,
that's like Vito. But yeah, so it's just like, it's the gratification. You know, I feel like it'll come back around though, the hard work, because you'll still have those guys like diamonds in the rough who didn't get the Ferraris in high school. You know, and then they'll make it, and then they'll make it cool to come from nothing again. So I feel like, you know, that's all it is.
Well, speaking of, so I'll be texting people. Like, I've DM'd KD about a parlay of twice or once or twice. You know, like, it happens or whatever. But, like, would you be the type to, like, tweet? Because, you know, he don't play. Like, he'll be like, I don't care. Stop betting. You suck at betting and stuff like that. Would that be the type of person? Because that's what be me. I'm talking my junk.
I was horrible. I was messaging everybody back.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Especially if it was like on my Instagram where like it's just a one-on-one conversation, I feel like. Even though it's never one-on-one on social media, they're gonna screenshot.
They gonna
So I was messaging back. I was saying stuff on Twitter. I made a burner page.
What's
crazy is I made a burner page for, not even for myself.
Yeah.
This is like my second year in the league, and I think Cam Newton was having like an off season. He was like kind of dwindling down his career. And they was talking trash about Cam. And I'm like, whoa, that's like my favorite player. But I couldn't just say it on my page like, oh yeah, Cam, my favorite player. Like, so I made a fake page on Twitter and I started arguing for Cam. I'm like, nah, y'all tripping.
No, that's
he
so
won an
funny.
MVP. Y'all got this man messed up. Like, y'all need to remember what he did for y'all. Like, so I was on social media too much back then.
I also have a question. We talked about Cam Newton. You just brought him up. He recently just said that how he rather the MVP award than like a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Because he's like, I like the personal gratification rather than the team.
No, Cam, you wrong for that.
He's wrong for that.
He's wrong for that. He's wrong for that.
Tripping.
I think he's just in argumentative mode. At that position, it's very rarely that you can be that great and be a selfish player. Right. Like your position is to give the ball to other people the whole game. So it's like very rarely that you can be selfish and just be dominant at that position. So I feel like it was just heated a moment. He was just an argumentative stage and he's just talking just to try to get some clicks or just maybe argue with somebody.
But I get that from Cam though, because one thing I think the Panthers, they don't appreciate him enough. Like I mean, like you go in there, you don't see anything from him. You don't like, and he was one of the biggest seasons. Well, for me, because I got hit. Yeah. So I agree. Like, he has the right to be angry.
Yeah, it's a thin line though. It's a thin line. You can't like force people to be grateful for you.
Yeah,
I
true.
feel like that's low key almost what I was trying to do with A&T. Mm-hmm. Like I was like feeling uncomfortable with how like somebody was wearing my jersey number, and the coaches that I was that I played under got fired, and the coach I wanted to get hired didn't get hired. So I was like, you know, I was feeling that same type of way against A&T, but then I started looking at it in a different light. It was just like it's not like a disrespect. It's maybe just like ignorance. They really just don't know. Like, so I just looked at it as that, and I started helping out. And I feel like as you come around more, you kind of remind those people, because everybody got life going on. Like life doesn't stop when you leave, so life is gonna go on. So I feel like they just got caught up in that. You know, 2 conference changes.
Yeah,
they just lost their way. So I just come back around and remind them, like, you know, I was here once upon a time.
You know, paved the way.
So I just did that.
Definitely. The piggyback on the Panthers and things like that. I remember you signed with them about a year and a half ago. Walk us through that. So you coming back home, you know what I'm saying? You just left Chicago. You had a Pro Bowl season. Like, walk us through just the whole emotions and, you know what I'm saying?
So I was really retired. In my mind, I retired already. I told my agent and everything that I was done with football. And I was just home.
Yeah.
And I was just working out. I had this one after I had my Achilles injury. So that's when I really thought I was done, because I'm like 2 season ending injuries back to back. I'm like, yeah, it's probably time to call it quits.
Right.
But then I was just around the house working out, rehabbing my Achilles, and I'm in the yard running with my son, and I'm feeling good. Like, I'm like, man, I'm doing some movements I ain't did in a couple years. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. So the next day I just told my girlfriend to come out in the front yard and record me doing a backflip. And I was like, if I could do a backflip, like, I think I'm athletic enough to start training again for football exercises. Did a backflip, and then like that just sparked the fire inside me. Like, I just got the fire again. But one thing that I noticed was I had the fire again for football, but it wasn't bigger than the fire for my family, like the love I had for my family.
That's real.
So I told my agent, I'll play football again, but I won't play for nobody else but Carolina. Like, I'm not leaving my family. I won't play for nobody else but Carolina.
You coming back home.
Yeah, so then he was like, Tarik, that usually doesn't happen. People can't just call their shots like that. I'm like, just get me a workout. Like, just get me a workout. If I work out in front of them, it would happen. Like, I'm sure of it. Because I also had a special teams coach who coached me on the Bears. That was the coach of the Panthers at the time.
Okay.
So I'm like, I already got a good name over there with him. So just let me work out in front of him. I can convince the head coach to, sign me. So then they did that. And then I was still a little overweight though, so they wanted me to lose some weight. Yeah. But I eventually got on the team. They signed me, and then I was scheduled to play for real. But I had a little hammy injury.
Hammy?
Yeah, a little hammy injury, and it set me back. And then I stayed out for the whole season. And then those coaches got fired.
Yeah.
And the new coach that came in released me. And I went to play for the Jets.
Jets.
But like I said, I was never trying to leave North Carolina.
Trying to leave
so
home.
My heart wasn't in it when I went there.
Yeah.
And I was doing good throughout the OTAs and stuff, but I decided to call it quits and just come home.
Your heart wasn't in it. Was just like,
I was really trying to do it for a check when I went to the Jets.
I get
it.
And
then my Coach Gibbs always told me, if your heart not in it, like, if you scared to get hurt, because that was the only thing on my mind when I went to the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to get hurt.
Right.
In Jersey, like, I don't want to be away from my family and be injured.
Yeah, that's what, like a 10-hour drive.
Yeah, I ain't driving that.
Yeah, nah.
How far that drive is?
Yeah, nah. Yeah.
See me.
Me personally, I ain't trying to go to the Jets either. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Me neither.
What's crazy is being on the team. The roster from head to bottom, I thought it was Super Bowl caliber. Like, you had players everywhere. I'm like, oh, this team is gonna be in the playoff. Mm-hmm. So then, when they were struggling this season, it was kind of like awkward to me. I'm like, dang, it's kind of a good thing I didn't stay, but I thought they was gonna win. I thought it was going to the Super Bowl.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought the Jets had a little run in them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially during that era, like 2019 and on. They kind of had good draft picks.
Yeah.
Brought in some good people, had nice head coaches. So I really thought they was gonna have a run, especially bringing you in too. So, but hey, like you said, what is meant, was not.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
so, just play how the cards fall.
Right. You've been a role model for a lot of young athletes. Not just because you went to a HBCU, but also because you went to the Pro Bowl and you made it to the NFL. I think that's a lot of things a lot of people want to do and hasn't done. You know what I mean? So, what's some words you got for them just to say, like, this is what I got to do. This is what I had to do. These are the certain things I had to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? To get to where I wanted to be.
One thing I feel like it always comes down to is discipline. Like, you just got to want it more days than you don't. Like, it's gonna be. You got to know it's gonna be hard some days. The people that you're around gonna want to do other stuff. It's gonna be a bunch of temptation, especially like college. You know, You want to party.
Yeah.
You want to go out. You don't want to be working out all the time. You don't want to do the right thing all the time. Nobody wants to do the right thing all the time. The wrong things are way more fun sometimes than the right thing. So just staying committed to yourself and staying committed to your dream that you set at the beginning is what's going to get you to that dream.
That's real. That's real. I'm asking you for encouragement too, because you really open the doors for a lot of people, just not with football, but with HBCUs as well. Like giving the people the motivation to think, hey, I can go to HBCU, I can go to a small school and still get my name out and not need that big household name to put behind me. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, you were motivating to me as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I played football and basketball, so that was a connection with me. And watching you grow up, like through the league, and watching you just do what you did. And I don't know if you know, but Lamar, he's a close family member to me.
Okay.
And so just watching y'all do what y'all did and bring the type of energy y'all brought to A&T, it was definitely inspiring. And it kind of had some, what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of had some connections, I guess, to make me want to go to A&T as well.
Yeah.
So that's why.
I feel like you said earlier, like, you know, it's all a part of a plan. Like, A&T was my only offer. So like it was like
That's
everything
real.
was meant to be. It was like it was just meant to be, and I never thought about going anywhere else once I got here. Like it was never on that type of time.
I'm gonna give it to Nina.
No, I just wanted to know, like, what if you could choose any generation of like football, like pro, to play in, like old, the one you were in, or younger coming up, what would you choose? Like, what do you think is better? Kind of.
I feel like for my style of play, the younger guys, the ones that's coming up now, I would like fit in right with them.
Yeah, you'll thrive, bro.
Them older guys. Well, no, I mean it's a double-edged sword. So the older guys, I feel like they was too slow to mess with me. They only had like Barry Sanders. There weren't that many shifty guys in the older football generation. So I feel like I really killed then.
Yeah.
But now I feel like football is definitely tailored to a guy, athlete that can do many of things.
Right.
Like in older days, if you run the ball, they just let you run the ball. You throw the ball, they just let you throw the ball.
Right.
Nowadays, they want guys who can do it all.
Yeah,
run the ball and catch the ball. Yeah, they want more of those guys. So I would definitely fit in.
Okay, and this is a personal question for me. So when y'all get like tackled and everything, it don't hurt? Like y'all just pop back up like nothing happened?
It depends. Sometimes it hurts.
Hey,
sometimes
the adrenaline.
The adrenaline got a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the hits that you see on TV that you might not think hurt be the ones that hurt, and the ones that you think like, oh, I know that one hurt. It don't even feel like nothing.
Right. It'd be just the shoulder pad popping.
Yeah, it just be a sound effect. Like it don't even hurt you.
It just sound good. I had another question. Oh yeah, I had seen like a couple of clips where your last name Cohen, like.
This is my favorite question.
Can you like basically inform us about how people saying like it's a Jewish last name? I never really got the understanding of that.
Yeah, me neither really, but I didn't know about it until I got to the league.
You didn't know it was Jewish?
I got exposed to a whole different community.
Word.
And it was like, that last name it's just like a very like strong last name in the Jewish community. And then I started paying attention to it. If you look on like TV and you see the credits at the end, you will always see somebody with the last name Cohen. So I'm like, dang.
We gotta tread lightly over the Jewish talk.
That's tough. You know what time it is. Shout out to them though, because like that's honestly like, did it bring any like outside of football? Did it bring any type of attention? You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, it really gave me a little bit of like pride, so to say, like the way they were speaking about it when I first like heard about it, and I did something with Bleacher Report, and it was like in a deli. And then the comments under that, they were just telling me like, it was basically like Wikipedia. The comments under that was just telling me like what the Cohen, like what that meant.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I just believed it. You know how women, they love horoscopes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. That's how I was feeling though. I was like, dang, I'm a Cohen. Like, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to be like this. I see why I'm like this now. Like,
I get
that's
it.
how I felt.
I get it. It was like part of the last name. It's
like a sense of pride. I just felt a sense of pride.
Right, it's in you, it's not on you type.
Oh God.
I feel you. What was up? Oh yeah. So you had went to the Pro Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. Did you ever think of like when you in that moment, in that in the midst of it, did you ever think, oh, I'm gonna be a Pro Bowler, I'm gonna do this and that, I'm gonna have the MEAC record? Like once you look back in hindsight of all the things you've done throughout your football career, just tell me like what was the most memorable thing out of that?
Yeah, I feel like anything that ever happened in my football career, like I might have said I was gonna do it, I never believed it though.
Tight.
Like I was saying a bunch of crazy stuff that I was just like, I feel like I said it and then I had to follow up on it. Basically, like I was just saying it, and then I just had to put the work in to do it. Like especially like the day I got drafted from A&T.
Yeah.
I had my draft day on campus. We did it in ACB, and I had to speak after I got drafted. And I was like, I'm glad I got drafted, but this not the end. Like this not just I'm getting in the league and just be in the league. I like y'all know that with the type of guy I am, like it's bigger than this. Like I got to do something more than just get drafted. And then when I got to the Pro Bowl, like that was just the best. That's the best moment I ever had in my life. Besides like my son being born, it was just an experience like that I got to share, and that's why I loved it so much. Like I got to bring all of my family down there, and then they rented out the whole park, like the whole Disney World. It's just the players' families.
Yeah,
you can get off an amusement ride and go right back to the front and get right back on. We rode the same ride like 5 times in a row, and then they got to meet guys that they never thought they would meet. Like my little cousin got a picture with Pat Mahomes.
Oh wow!
My cousin got a picture with Dak Prescott, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. Just to show, like my aunt was playing cards with Emmitt Smith.
Right,
like
moments.
stuff that you never thought that would
Moments,
happen.
bro.
I got to help them experience that, and that's why like
that's
Pro
what
Bowl.
It's all about.
Yeah, that's why that's my favorite moment like in life. Like it wasn't even about me really. Yeah, I made it to the Pro Bowl, but like. Look at my mom over there. Look at my aunt over there. Like they in this space with me, and that's why I loved it so much.
You got to share those moments with them.
And that's the best place.
That's real.
After getting to the league, like you get a little money in your pockets. What's like a thing you started doing, like an outside hobby outside of football? Like what piques your interest?
Oh, streaming, and that's why I feel like the generation now, like the younger generation now, they have
like Kai and them.
Yeah, I was streaming.
He's streaming.
I was more competitive gaming. Though. I wasn't like lifestyle streaming.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like.
What
2K
games?
heavy.
2K
heavy. Call of Duty and 2K heavy.
Duty.
I still play 2K and Call of Duty to this day. So like, yeah, like that's one of the things. No, I don't stream as much. Okay. I lost my following for real.
Okay.
So that's why I just hopped up off of it.
Get back on it, bro.
I do need to get back on it though. But
streaming, you see how it's going.
Yeah, you can get money off them.
They are.
Yeah.
Especially GTA 6 finna come out too.
Yeah,
so,
hopefully. They've been waiting for 10 years.
10 years, man.
I'm out of that one. I don't know nothing about that. I can play the Tony Hawk game back in the day. That's all I got. But thank you so much for coming on here, Tarik.
Hit it.